Filing a VAT return and what do you have to know about it? Hello and welcome back to another video here on GTax. My name is Roland Elias, I'm a German tax advisor, and today we're going to talk about the VAT returns and the so-called advanced VAT returns. What does it mean and what do we have to know about it? And the VAT returns are important for all the businesses and all people who are operating a business in Germany or which are self-employed or something like this. So the first question is, what is the so-called Umsatzsteuervoranmeldung? Is the so-called advanced VAT return. This is a monthly or a quarterly report to the local tax office, the so-called Finanzamt, and there you have to summarize the collected VAT, the Umsatzsteuer, and the input tax, the so-called Vorsteuer, you have to deduct it. So you only pay the difference between the summarized collected VAT and deduct the input VAT you have to pay on, for example, buying an iPhone or something like this, and then the difference has to be transferred and paid to the local tax office. For this, you need require a VAT registered business. For example, you're a normal, for example, freelancer, or you're running a business, then you are VAT registered in the most cases. You can file it digitally, fully electronically via ELSTER, and this is the official German tax portal where you can send all your tax-related information to the local tax office. So the question is, when and how often do you file? This is very important because new businesses usually have a quarterly return, and in the first year and in the next year they check, okay, do you have to do it, for example, monthly, or can you keep it at quarterly or yearly? These are the differences. This depends on the VAT you have to pay to the local tax office. Quarterly is most common for small businesses. The big businesses have to file it normally monthly, and the little businesses just annually. For example, it's normally the 10th of the following month. For example, today, June 10th, that means we have to file the returns for May 2025 on June 10th, 2025. But the big question is, how do you send it, or how do you wire these informations to the local tax office? This is, for example, via ELSTER, as I told you. You have to register yourself at the free ELSTER account. It's elster.de, and then there are some authentication information you have to put into. Then you get via post some information, because they have old school two-factor authentications. In this case, you have to fill in all the key data of your total sales with 19% VAT, with 7% VAT rates, the input VAT, and then ELSTER will automatically calculate your VAT liability or your refund. For example, if you make big revenues and you have a bigger VAT, you collect more VAT, then you have an input tax. On the other hand, then you have to pay VAT to the local tax office. And in the other case, if you say, for example, you're buying in 1 month a new car, new machines or something like this, then you normally have a bigger input VAT, and this you get, for example, a refund. So it also depends on, are you making money or are you investing? Some common mistakes you have to avoid, and these are, for example, forgetting to include foreign or intra-EU sales. The most cases are so-called reverse charge cases. These are very important, because this you have to be aware of, that this is a very important information. So you have to use correct VAT rates, for example, 19-70%. Don't mix it up, because this might be a big problem. Normally, if you don't have a lower tax rate, then it's normally always 19%. Missing the deadlines might end up in late fees or in interest that you should know about, and there are some more tips you have to know. For For example, you should use, besides ELSTER, for example, LexOffice or something like this. These are tools that might help you to keep up with all the tax things you have to put up around the year. For example, your income tax, your value-added tax information, and something like this, that you don't mess up anything about this. So one more thing is for the end very important. The VAT is a tax that only gets paid by the end consumer. The businesses are not don't have to pay this tax, because for this it's just they collect it from the end consumer and then send it to the Finanzamt. So this is it, and this is all the information you need to know for filing a VAT return in Germany. It's the Umsatzsteuervoranmeldung basics and what you have to know about it. So if you have another question, just keep it up in the comments below.